We also have like Bill Holenkamp, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And are you with the Model Property Development LLC?
Yeah, I'm their architect with New Republic.
Got it. All right, great. Are you expecting anyone else to join us here today?
I believe Zach Woolard from Model Group was supposed to join.
Okay. Did you want to wait for him or do you want to get started?
This is small enough. We could probably get started.
Okay, great. I have to read through a hearing script. If I see him join the waiting room, I'll let him in right away.
Okay.
The hearing script is just going to cover the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll get started. So this is, looks like he's coming in now, actually.
Oh,
I'll just go through this. This is the March 20th, 2024 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is, again, David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the city. Case before us today is case number ZH20240017. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any potential opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any potential opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing proceed as follows. The applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If we did have anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant had presented its case. I'll give the zoning department an opportunity to provide any input and testimony if they would like. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay, looks like we have Zach Woolard who's joined us here. Zach, if you could unmute. I understand you're with the model team, is that right? Or is it New Republic?
I'm with Model.
Got it. Okay, great. Welcome. All right, I need anyone who intends on providing any testimony to be sworn. And so if you want to make any comments, ask any questions, really do anything other than just observe, then the zoning code requires that I swear you in. So I'm going to do that now. If you could take yourself off of mute, raise your right hand, and I need everyone to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. All right. Who's going to take the lead on tell me about this application? I need someone from the applicant team.
Zach, I'll start. This is a portion of a project on Gilbert Avenue that's been in progress for several years now, in which there was a commercial component facing Gilbert Avenue, approximately 2,000 square feet. And through efforts of trying to lease and get the space occupied, they found nibbles but no real bites. And through studying and discussions with Model, it was decided that splitting the space into two smaller sections and trying to find uses for those might be better suited. Plus, we are also designing a larger project around the corner, and Model holds a bunch of residents in the neighborhood with no real leasing office or facilities kind of space to service all these residents they have. So the notion of using, and part of the discussion in the other project was providing a leasing office or facilities office. And then the discussion moved to one of the spaces in this building as being a better candidate for it, especially since they weren't getting much traction from the leasing action. So we did some studies and came up with a solution that we felt worked, and then contacted the city and had a discussion with Emily, and then kind of got the ball rolling to get ourselves here. The catch being that this is part of a form-based code zone, and an office use is not allowed on a storefront section facing a primary road. So,
sure. Okay. So your original intention, because I think I remember doing some approvals on this building a couple of years ago. when it first came through, but the original intention was to have some sort of permitted commercial use in this first floor space, and there were efforts to solicit or attract a tenant that were unsuccessful. Is that right?
Zach, you can speak to that.
Yeah, we've been in discussions since we closed on the building in December of 2022, trying to find various possibilities for the tenant of the building. We just haven't had much success with that, and we also are trying to lease commercial space on the McMillan Ave storefront as part of the Paramount Launch building adjacent. And during that time, we sort of realized a lack of a on-site property management office for what's soon to be over 150 units, plus what's already existing. And so property management said we need someone on site to, on campus to take applications, especially with affordable housing being the major component of this building. There's a lot of paperwork and compliance that has to be done in person. So we need a central location so people aren't having to come down to our office in OTR. So it became both a mix of, exactly as Bill said, lack of leasing prospects and a need for an on-site property management office.
Got it. Okay. And Bill also mentioned some studies. Zach, I don't know if you can talk about that. Were there actual studies done for other potential uses that would work there?
Well, I mean, when we first designed the building, the studies were done for like what we thought might be able to, the appeals departments might be able to have, and therefore we didn't, account for any commercial income going to support the building as a whole, just because of the affordability in nature. But I think it's just our experience with our portfolio in the Walnut Hills neighborhood that sort of led to this decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to kind of follow up on what I stated earlier, the studies were for making sure the leasing office would drop in and still leave viable space for the remainder of this commercial space, because it is an oblong shape for standard commercial space. So we wanted to make sure if we drop the leasing office in, that whatever was left would still be viable leasable space.
Yeah, and it was originally designed to not have any restaurant use or any, there's not proper mechanical. It was always going to be office or retail. We thought it might all be retail commercial, but we decided based on our, information that we probably should split it up half and half to be part retail, part office.
Got it. Okay. All right, thanks. Anything else from the applicants before I go to the zoning department?
Nope.
Okay. Emily, did you want to add anything?
Sure. Matt Lascheid, staff report outlines our recommendation of approval for this proposal. The applicant has demonstrated that there is a difficulty in tenanting that ground floor space at the street level with the use permitted under the code. We feel that a leasing office really does meet the spirit and intent of the code because it will provide an active storefront space and it will add to pedestrian activity along Gilbert Avenue. We also made a finding that ground floor office space is a substantial property right enjoyed by others in the vicinity. Right down the street, you have the Artworks offices. On the ground floor, you also have the Taste of Belgium offices around the corner on the ground floor. So this is a common use that we see in the vicinity without any adverse effects. So we are recommending approval.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anything in response to anything Emily has said or anything in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today from the applicants?
No, sir.
Nope, nothing from model.
Okay, great. So I have had a chance to review the application materials. Based on that, the staff report and the testimony here today, I think it would be impractical to strictly enforce the zoning code to this particular application. So I am going to approve the request. I need to formalize that approval in a written decision. As soon as I finish that decision, I put it into a PDF and email it to everybody who's in the hearing here today. So you all have a copy of that really just moments after it's complete. And then the zoning department can approve the permitting on their end. Any questions about any of that?
No.
Okay. All right, great.
Nope.
Well, if you do in the meantime, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, look for an email from me. And yeah, that's it. Hope you all have a good day. Thank
Great,
you
you
again for
too.
your time and your testimony. Good luck with the project, and we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.